I suffered a breakdown and I also had depression. I kind of lost my way in my life, and I didn't really have very much confidence in myself. I started to get panic attacks, and I think that's what led to the breakdown. But I was also dissatisfied with my life and I felt in a rut. I knew that I had to change myself, but I didn't feel that I had the strength to do it. There was a gap of a year and I was building myself up, and then I started to come to the church. From when I started coming to the very first meeting, I just felt inspired and empowered. From then on, I started going 3 times a week. I was gaining all this knowledge in practical ways, how to use things to develop a confidence in myself and a faith in myself that I could do things. Now I have dreams for my life, and I'm going to become a potter. I'm going to buy a bit of land. I'm going to build an eco house on it. I'm just stronger now, and I'm much more joyful in my life and more excited about my life.
Good evening and welcome to Finding Answers. Do you know the kind of feeling you get when you're trying to reach somewhere? And the more you try to get to that, the more disappointed you become, because you always seem to get really close, but never close enough. For example, I'm not really going to use this here for the program, but I brought it here to show you something. What many people feel is this. They have a goal they want to reach. They want to get to where this object is. That's their goal. And they fight, they strive to reach that goal. They try to get as close as they can. They're not people who slack off, who just relax and wait for things to happen. They actually go there. Perhaps you try everything you can to reach your goals in life. Everything. The problem is, you even get close, but when you're about to reach that goal, it's like it slips through your fingers. No matter how hard you try, it's never hard enough. You never get close enough to this target that you have in life. Perhaps the target of being a homeowner. And by the way, I'm not saying this because I'm superficial. But everyone has a dream of being financially independent, having a home, owning their own house, having stability, not having to worry about money. Maybe you want that for yourself and your family. It's not even for yourself. Maybe when you were single, you would sleep on your friends' couches, you would travel the world. But now you say, look, James, I can't live like that anymore. I have a family that depends on me. But every time you're about to reach that financial stability, it's like it's taken away from you. Every time you're about to get married, you're about to grab that opportunity, that chance of getting married. You have someone, you have a relationship, someone you think that loves you, that cares about you, and when you're about to grab it, it's taken away from you. Maybe that's been the story of your life. I want you to know that if this has been how you have lived your life, you can change your life now, tonight. We have the secret, we have the formula to change your life, and you can change it. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you this video. When I come back, I'm going to tell you what the secret is for you to change your life. Don't go anywhere.
Ambitious people often spend a substantial amount of time thinking about strategies that will help them achieve a greater level of success, hoping to one day reach their full potential. However, even if these people meet with hurdles in their life, they tend to view them as a challenge, whereas other people get frustrated and often give up. A psychologist called Abraham Maslow wanted to understand what motivates people and concluded from his studies that people are motivated to achieve certain needs. When one need is fulfilled, they can move on to the next one. He developed the hierarchy of needs, which can be depicted as hierarchical levels within a pyramid. The pyramid is divided into 5 stages, starting with biological and physiological needs. Next, safety needs. Then love and belongingness needs. Esteem needs. And then finally, once all of these needs have been met, you can reach self-actualization, which is you reaching your full potential. But even if you haven't got there yet, what isn't helpful to helping you reach your full potential? Common beliefs about reaching your full potential include: living up to our full potential means living a life free of fear, failure and sorrow. That you are not good enough. You should beat yourself up about not living up to your full potential. But all these things are actually detrimental to you reaching your full potential. By beating yourself up, constantly comparing yourself to others, and feeling like your life should be perfect isn't helpful. So, why not start today? See if you can move towards self-actualization by being kind to yourself, by focusing on your goals and achieving your dreams.
Do you feel, like I was telling you earlier, like every time you're about to embrace your dream, every time you're about to reach your full potential, it all crumbles down? Do you feel like that? Then let me tell you, there is a very huge chance, a very huge possibility that there is some kind of spiritual problem behind your problem, behind that succession of failures that you have. Maybe you are a person that has a label of almost. You were almost married. You almost got that job. You almost became an Olympic athlete. You almost became a musician. You almost everything in life. I have Edward here with me tonight. Good evening, Edward.
Good evening.
You know, there are people that they were almost everything. They say, you know what, one day I almost won the lottery. One day I almost graduated as this or that. One day I almost traveled the world. One day I almost got married. But it never actually came to pass.
It's more frustrating, something more frustrating than never even getting close to reaching a goal is exactly as we're talking about tonight. Coming close to achieving it, having that hope, even maybe an assurance, okay, now is my time, and then feeling like there's an invisible hand smacking us back all the way to square one again. It's even more depressing, I'd say, more frustrating.
Yeah. When you're really, really, really thirsty, it's worse when you're really thirsty and someone comes to you and says, listen, here's a glass of water, but you can't touch it. Let's that camera there. Open. Don't cut me in the shot, please. Look, I'm thirsty. I'm dying of thirst. Listen, please. No. Just look at it. Oh. Just look at it. This is worse than if you never see water. You're dying of thirst, but you never see water. It's worse if someone shows it to you, but you can't touch it.
Sorry to cut you off, but you see, it's something that is even like a hope killer. Mm-hmm. There will come a point where hope will just die. Mm-hmm. And you know, what's the point? I mean, why even try? Why even believe if every time that I tried, it only resulted in frustration, depression, failure. Yeah. And there are people maybe that they even come to a point where they self-sabotage now. Yeah. You know, they are programmed to say, okay, I'm going to do it, but I know that in the end it's not going to work.
They become disillusioned.
Yeah.
Now, listen, if you say, James, That's exactly what's going on in my life right now. I have a history of almost everything. I almost grabbed my goals. I almost graduated. I almost, bought a house. A car. I almost got my full healing. I was just about to get the all clear. And then the doctor said that the problem was back again. In fact, tonight you will hear in the testimony, here's someone who went through cancer. And through the power of faith and the doctor's helps also, today she's free. Now, if you say, James, this has been my life, I want to tell you that perhaps behind this succession of problems, there is a negative force. There is a spiritual problem that you need to be free from. Maybe you need the right guidance, the right impact, and someone here in the church, in the program we do here, representing the church here, can help you. If you say, look, I want a solution for my problems. I want to stop almost getting to where I want. I want to actually get there. Then I want you to get in contact with us. You can call us right now because our team, our trained team is ready to speak to you right now. And you can tell them everything that you almost got in life. They're going to make a strong prayer for you there. And we can even book an appointment for you to come and see me, to come and see Edward. There's no charge for this. We are there 7 days a week to help you if you're going through a problem right now. If you'd like to speak to us, then get in contact 020-7686-6300. That's 020-7686-6300. Or send us an email, help@findinganswers.tv. help@findinganswers.tv. Edward will be reading your emails here. We're going to go to a short break. When I come back from the break, I'll be talking to Merdith, who's here. She beat cancer. She beat all the problems she had. And just like she did, you can as well. Don't go anywhere. Get in contact. We'll be right back.
Follow my channel's updates on Facebook. Like your favorite videos and see pictures of your favorite artists. Access our Twitter @MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with My Channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Uplifting, diverse, vibrant, dynamic,
Powerful, youthful, informative,
energizing, passionate,
motivational,
freedom,
lively.
excitement.
We're talking today about people who have almost reached virtually everything in life, but have never actually reached it. The people that always come second, the people that always come third, you know, the silver medal. Was watching the Formula One a couple of weeks ago, and the guy that won was celebrating like mad. The one who came second and third, they were just there, angry. Because for them, second and third is not good enough. Maybe you are like this. You come second, you come third, you go for a job interview, and you almost get that job. You almost get the job that pays well, but you never do. In fact, Edward was reading something interesting here during the break. Go ahead, Edward.
Actually, it's taken from the NHS website that one of the main causes for suicide in the UK is actually hopelessness, a sense of hopelessness and worthlessness. And as we were discussing in the previous segment, much of this hopelessness and sense of worthlessness comes from this, from always coming close to the goal, believing I'm almost there, but never really crossing the line.
Yeah, it's like when the person's about to realize a dream, it never happens. Speaking of suicide, I read today that the king of Botox, the man who pioneered Botox all over the world, committed suicide today, I think today or yesterday. Very rich, very successful, but struggled with depression for many years. And because on a specific satirical program, someone made fun of him, it's like tipped him over the edge. Perhaps you feel right now like you're being tipped over the edge because you're tired of failing. You're tired of never reaching your potential. You have so much potential. You're like that student that when you were at school, your teacher, your lecturer said, you have so much potential, you're going to break through. But maybe it never happened. It never materialized. But it's going to. If you take the right step, it's going to. If you learn to use your faith, then you can change your situation. Some things only faith can help. If you want to do that, you can get in contact right now. Our team are waiting for your call. We are waiting for the calls of those who are hopeless, of those who are tired of being disappointed, but want to reach their full potential. The number is 020-7686-6300. Also, you can call us or you can contact us by email, help@findinganswers.tv. We're going to leave those contacts there on the screen. I want to introduce you right now to Merdith Garrison, who's in the studio with me, and you're going to hear her amazing story right now. Let's meet her.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
So sitting next to me is Merdith. Good evening, Merdith.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank
you. Okay?
Yes.
Merdith, you have an interesting story because quite a few years back, you decided to run away from your country of origin, and not running away because someone was hunting you down, but run away because you were running from a problem. Tell us about that.
I had a broken relationship. It didn't turn out what I expected, and I had a daughter in the process. So my mom was already living here, and she decided, well, the best thing for me to do is to come for a holiday. But I knew when I got here, I wasn't going to go back because there was nothing really to go back to. So I came here to start my life over, forget about all of that. But there was always that emptiness, always following me.
Why did that particular relationship break down?
There was a lot of promises because I was promised that, okay, we'll get married and we'll settle down. And time went on and problems started to develop. Families started to get involved in the relationship and we started arguing. And we just decided that, look, I'm going to go and take a break on a holiday.
How long were you in that relationship for?
Probably about 3 years.
3 years. When it started, did you think that that relationship was going to be everything you've always wanted it to be?
Yes, I thought so. Because at that time he was pursuing the fact to have a child. He didn't have a child, so he was saying, okay, let's have a child and we'll put everything into place and we'll get married and things like that. But when I had my daughter, things never went that way. It just seems more distant.
It fell apart.
Yeah.
So and that's what happens to many people. You know, people get married because they want to be happily ever after. Nobody gets married, you know, saying, oh, till divorce does part. No one says that. People get married because they want to be together with that person forever. So, but what happens to many people is what happened to you. You start a relationship, things are going so well, you're in love, you think this is going to last forever, and then it falls apart. It's like we were saying, you're about to reach that goal, that dream, and then it slips through your fingers. So you came here, you never planned on going back, you wanted to run away from that bad experience. When you got here, what happened? How did you start to live your life here?
When I got here, I started to study. I started to go to college, and my daughter started to put her in childminders. But then it became difficult going to college and managing financially. So it became very difficult providing for her, providing the things that I wanted, and I couldn't do much. So I started working more, and I dropped out of the last year. I was supposed to have graduated.
So one more dream fell. So that was the last year.
Yeah.
Just before you graduated, you quit.
I quit.
You had to quit.
I had to quit because of the financial restraints. That it became difficult because I had to pay for her childminding fees, and I was working part-time, and plus paying the fees for the school every term, which was quite a lot.
One more dream that fell apart.
Yeah.
First, the love life dream. Secondly, the dream of studying, making things better for yourself fell apart. You were forced to quit that. Not because you were a quitter, but you had to.
Yeah.
And then how were things financially? Even though you quit to go and work, how were things financially for you?
I was working full-time, but when I'm working, I can't really see the money. It's like I'm working more hours, and yet I still can't afford to. I had to rent an apartment. It was difficult, like all the money I'll pay the rent, and then when it comes to food and other things, buying clothes, I wasn't able to do as much shopping. I'll make sure I provide for my daughter first, and I will do without and just get by, more or less.
How did you feel? You were in a new country, but things were so difficult for you, so tough for you. You were saying earlier you felt empty. How did you deal with that emptiness?
Occupied myself by going to parties. I had friends at the time that I used to go a lot of parties to. She used to invite me a lot, so I will go, probably my mom will babysit, and I will go there and stay probably the night, come back the next day.
Would that make you forget about your problems, at least for that period of time?
For the night, yes, because I will be enjoying myself, I'll be drinking, but when I'm back home by myself, I'll still feel lonely, empty. So
that didn't make your problems to go away, the partying and so on.
No.
What I want to find out from you now is, we're going to skip forward a little bit. I want to find out about that time when you heard you had cancer. I know that by that time a lot of things had happened, a lot of water had gone under the bridge, but just for the sake of us moving on, when you heard that you had cancer, how was that moment for you?
I was already coming to the church at the time, and I've seen many people testimony. So in my mind, I was saying, because the lumps was there, and I was saying, you know, a miracle could happen. It couldn't disappear because it happened to other people, so it can happen to me. But in the same time, I just said, you know what, if that's where it has to be, then I trust that God knows what's best. So I still just continue believing, even up to the moment when the morning of the surgery, my husband was by my side and he said, "Don't worry." I said, "I'm not worried." At that moment, I felt like, okay, whatever is to happen, I trust that God will take care of me either way.
Right. So you, at that time, you were already married. That's another story, which what we're going to do now, Merdith, is we're going to go for a break. But I want people to understand this. This is a person who ran away from a broken relationship, coming to a new country, wanting to start things afresh. And then, so that relationship slipped through her fingers. She was unhappy. Then she was unhappy and again could not reach her full potential because on the year she was going to graduate, she had to quit in order to provide financially for her daughter. Things financially were really difficult. Later on in life, although she was already married, had started coming to the church, heard many testimonies of people who were healed, who were set free through the power of God. She found out she had cancer. But then she knew how to use her faith. You're going to see what happened to her when she learned to use her faith and how her life is today. Because today, Merdith is no longer that person who almost reaches her goals. She doesn't now almost reach things. Now you reach things, right?
Yes.
No more almost.
No more almost.
Now you reach your potential.
Yes.
But you're going to tell us about that after the break. Let's go for a quick break. We'll come back and we'll hear the turnaround in her amazing story.
As a man, I understand the struggles men like me go through. They need to be strong always and not to show any weakness, even though it's there. To be a leader to our family, to our wife and kids, when we really wish someone else would show us the way. To choose what is right in a world of wrongs. To admit to our mistakes when our egos don't want us to be exposed. To learn to be a man when we're still only a boy inside. Being a man is not easy. But hard is also a part of being a man. We don't like anything easy. We want challenges. We want to prove that we can do it. That we are bigger than the problems staring us in the face. That's why we go to the moon, we climb the Everest, we sail around the world, and build fast cars. We like the feeling of accomplishment. And please don't ever tell us it can't be done. We will die trying. Being a man is not easy, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And yet, the true conquest of a man is not measured by his money, power, or fame. His greatest achievement is to overcome himself.
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and families as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chika here for Finding Answers. Tonight we're talking about reaching your full potential. Ambitious people, what exactly makes them ambitious? I'm going to find out from the general public. Let's see what they say. What do you think makes some people more ambitious than others?
I think it's all about what you want. So if people know what they want, they have a goal, then they just work for it or they don't work for it. So if they really want it, I think that will make people ambitious. They know what they have to do. They've got a path. They'll just go out and do it, whereas others might be lost or umming and ahhing, have no idea what they want to do, then they'll just, just sink or swim, really.
Some people like power. Some people it's just in their DNA, I suppose. There are lazy people and ambitious people. Hard to answer. Sorry.
Pure luck. Nothing else. And the way you manage it, I would say. That's all.
You stay in the same place, same residence, same street. It's easy to just adapt to just that. And when you move out, you want more. Maybe you don't even know you want more. But then when more comes to you, you can easily take it.
That's a difficult question as well, because what's ambition? Like, some people are driven by money, others are driven by, I don't know, what's the word, status. But I think the driving force behind all of that is ego, and to let go of your ego, that's probably the biggest ambition for most of us, and hopefully we all get there.
I want to apologize because that's the wrong video they inserted there. But actually, someone said there that success and ambition comes from luck. Completely off the mark. Luck plays no part in your success. If you're waiting on luck, you're gonna die waiting. You will die waiting, because luck doesn't help anybody. So if you think that luck plays a part in your happiness, then you better get a very comfortable chair, like the one I'm sitting on right now, because your life is not going to change because of luck. You have to fight for it. And that's what Merdith did, right, Merdith?
Yes.
So when you found out you had cancer, you were already coming to the church. Yes. You learned about using your faith, heard people saying how they had been healed, set free through the power of prayer. Yes. You decided to use your faith. I want to ask you, before we find out about the other things, how was your health? What happened to your health?
Well, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2011, April. Within that time as well, I also lost my dad. Mm-hmm. So I had to fly back home. And when I came back, they gave me the results from the tests that I took. They said, the doctors, a consultant said to me that this is what we can do. We have to do a mastectomy. Mm-hmm. When he said it, he said it to me, and I never took it really seriously. I just said, no. Mm-hmm. I didn't accept it. In my mind, I never accepted it. Until the nurse, she even said to me, are you okay? I said, yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. We left that day, and I said, no, I'm not accepting this result, so I'm going to request for a second opinion. Mm-hmm. And actually, one of the pastors in the church, wife, she went to an appointment with me in Central London. We had the appointment book. Mm-hmm. They run all different tests again, and they gave me the report, called me back, gave me the report, and said it's the same mm-hmm. from the first, that we believe the best thing is to have a mastectomy. But you have an option. We can do a mastectomy and we can do a reconstruction mm-hmm. at the same time. And I accepted. I said, okay, I will do that surgery. So we went ahead with that plan. In August, I had the surgery. They actually took some of my some veins from my back and grafted, so I can, you know, be normal or feel comfortable with it. And
have you been given the all clear now?
Yeah, every year they always send me to have a regular checkup.
Just for precaution.
Just for precaution. But every time I go, he said, "You're doing so well." One of the side effects, they said that when I had the mastectomy, because they removed my lymph node on my left arm, they said, "You may not be able to use your left hand, so we'll send you for therapy." But after I had the surgery, within the month, I was already lifting my arm, which they said I may not be able to lift my arm or move my
How is your arm? How is your...
It's fine. I can lift my arm. I can do everything with my arm. No one can tell the difference, really.
So you've been able to recover through, of course, the help of the doctors as well. They played an important part, but also your faith that carried you through all that. How is your love life now? Because I know you're married. You went from you ran away from where you were, a different country, because of a disappointing relationship. How's your relationship now? You're married now.
I'm happy. I'm happy. We are communicating. We can laugh. We can talk about many things. Even if we have a slight argument, it wouldn't be something that we are not able to resolve today. So it's a blessing.
So you can communicate and solve those problems.
Yes.
You have a happy marriage now. How long have you been married for?
We've only been married going 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So God has blessed your love life.
Yes.
And your finances, because you quit college to go and work. You were struggling. How are things now?
Yeah, I still continue working, and now I have a job. I work for the public sector. But also I started getting involved doing my own business. So now I'm doing my own catering business at the moment.
Right. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Right? So you went from struggling to having a good job now to also starting your own business, having a blessed relationship. Your health is fine, right?
Yes.
So you are proof that you can go from being someone who is an underachiever, who never reaches their goals, to someone who reaches their goals.
Definitely.
Now you no longer almost reach them, you reach them.
Yes, and many more. You can do many more. It depends on
you have more goals for the future.
And more goals.
And that's
a lot
great.
More.
Thank you very much. Now, if you're watching me and you say, listen, I'm struggling right now because like this glass of water I have here on the table with me, maybe you see it, you want to reach it, but maybe it's better to remove the telephone number there from the screen. So yeah, that's right. So you can see here, I have a glass of water. And every time you are about to reach it, it's like you never stretch that far. You put your hand, you try to reach it, but it's always too far. Maybe that's you. Maybe your happiness has always been too far. Your family united has always been too far. Your health, good health, has always been too far. There's always something wrong with you. You go from doctor to doctor, no one can give you a proper diagnosis. You try different medication, you try this treatment, that treatment, and it never solves your problem. Maybe you tried drugs to relieve your pain. You started off on something light, now you are taking harder drugs, and that hasn't worked for you. Like Merdith was saying, it relieves you thinking of that problem for a few moments, but later you go back to it again. And that has been the story of your life. You are a person who is known, well known, for almost reaching where you want to be, but never getting fully there. Take a few moments to talk to our pastors right now who are ready to speak to you. Telephone numbers there on the screen. You can call, they are here ready to talk to you now, and all you say to them is, listen, I have this problem. I go around in circles. I almost reach many things in my life, but I've never really gotten there. Maybe you were almost a professional footballer. Maybe you were almost a mother, but you've had several miscarriages. Maybe you were almost happy, but you never truly were. get in contact. 020-7686-6300. 020-7686-6300. You can get in contact right now. We're going to go to a break. When I come back, Edward will be here with me again. We're going to be talking about the eight interesting steps to reach your full potential, and also something extraordinary we saw this week in helping people overcome their addictions. Don't go anywhere.
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
Hi, the Chrissy B Show airs live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, coming to your homes with entertainment, life issues as well as hard-hitting topics, coupled with friendly and practical advice. I love to look at the happier side of life and believe a person can achieve amazing things when they put their mind to it. The Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life.
Welcome back. Before we carry on, and I'll be talking to Edward in just a moment, here are a few interesting steps on reaching your full potential. We hope that those steps have been helpful. Now, let me tell you about something that happened in our church, in our headquarters, that was amazing over the past couple of days. We had a meeting with over 2,000 people in our headquarters, where people who had addictions came, all kinds of addictions, gambling, drinking, drugs, cigarettes, you name it. They came to take part of this meeting. And we saw people who went from craving a cigarette, from craving alcohol, from craving an addiction, to feeling sick, revolted at the smell of that addiction. And this is what the power of faith can do. Can you believe that this can happen to someone? That's madness, right? It's crazy for someone who cannot stay a moment without a drug, without a drink, without cigarettes. Just the smell of it makes them tick. And then after a strong prayer, the person feels disgusted by that smell. Doesn't that sound odd, strange to you? But that's what the power of faith can do. Faith can do things that no one can understand. That's why the Bible says that faith is madness. It's crazy to the world. Maybe you hear me now and you think, that's crazy. That's mad what you're saying. It can't be true. But for those 2,000 people who were there last night and saw that, they know that this is true. And you can benefit from the same thing. So, you know, Edward, we can talk about all the steps in the world to reach your potential, but the truth is that the secret is faith.
And when
faith is a supernatural power.
When we speak about faith, of course, we're talking about a very specific kind of faith, which is a faith that brings results.
Exactly.
That's very important. It's not something religious.
Not a religious faith.
It's something very intelligent, because if I believe in a higher power, so this higher power must somehow relate to me. I must be able to overcome. I must see power, as we are seeing power. If I believe in God, this is our faith. This is the faith we're talking about. If we're going to claim we believe in God, we might as well see results. Otherwise, what's even the point?
For example, we have many people, Edward, religious people, that they are very religious. They carry a crucifix, or they carry prayer beads, Muslim beads, or Buddhist beads, or whatever religion they follow. And they're very Catholic. But if you ask them, do you believe that you can be healed? They say, well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's God's will.
I don't know. If it's God's will, of course it's God's will. But then you have someone who's not very religious, doesn't go to church, doesn't carry beads, crucifix, anything. But if you say, look, do you believe that God can help them? The person may be there even dying with a syringe injecting drugs in their arm. Perhaps dying with the sickness, with the disease. Perhaps the worst criminal on the face of the earth. But they say, I believe. I believe God can set me free right now. I've never stepped foot inside a church, but I believe. And perhaps you're like this right now. Perhaps you say, James, I'm not a religious person, but I believe that God can help me. I believe something can happen. He can do something in my life. You know, I'm the worst person on the face of the earth. Perhaps you feel like that. Not that you are, but maybe you feel bad. You feel like you do so many wrong things. But you say, James, I believe that God cares about me, that He can do something in my life. There's the number. Call that number there on your screen now. Just tell them, look, I don't know what prayer is. I don't know what faith, what God is. Or maybe you do. But I believe He can change my life. God is an expert in people who are rejected in this world. Actually, Edward, most people who came to Him, majority of them were not righteous people, were thieves, prostitutes. They were the rejects of this world. And even though they didn't know how to pray, they didn't know God or anything, they believed. Maybe they didn't even know how to approach Jesus. Maybe they approached Jesus in a very, not knowing what to say, but they believed. Because they believed, something happened. Maybe this person who is watching us now, they are criminals, they are never been to church, or they haven't been in a long time, addicts, whatever. But if they believe, that's enough.
You know, what I'm about to say now may even sound a little bit strange or shocking, but I would dare to say that God is looking for these people.
Exactly.
For God is excited. The more messed up someone's life is, the more exciting it is for God to help that person, except that He can't work alone. You know, as you're saying, God is looking for people that despite the living hell their life may be, but at least they are sincere. There are sensible people out there, intelligent people that are suffering for the only reason that they yet don't know how to tap into this power called faith. But the moment they learn how to do it, they're going to see changes. They're going to get hooked to it. They're going to really love it and never really let go. This is what we're talking about.
You know, Edward, you have your glass of water there.
I do.
I have mine here with me now. And I want to challenge you now for you to prepare yours. We're going to ask God to put His power inside this water. Let's zoom in on this water here, please. And we're going to ask God to put His power in this water. James, God is going to bless this water. Yes, He is. And when you drink of this water, He can heal you. He can set you free from your addiction. He can set you free from this curse of almost being happy, almost something happening that is good in your life. No more almost. Today can be the first day of your life changing. If you believe, we're going to join our faith now in prayer. And of course, this is only the first step. If you want to find out what the next steps are, our phone lines will be open until midnight. But prepare your glass with water. You that have this faith, you that don't think God could even hear you, but you say, I believe, somehow I believe. Prepare your glass with water. Let's bless it, let's pray, because a miracle is going to happen in your life right now. Let's talk to God.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer for your health and general well-being, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Lord and my Father, you are the God of the rejects, the God of those that the whole world has despised. Actually, you want to work with these people so much that you said in your word you didn't come for the healthy. You didn't come for those who were righteous. You came for the lost. My God, there are people right now who feel lost. Perhaps people who have a good job, who have a life that apparently to the eyes of others looks good, but maybe they feel completely lost, my Lord. They don't know what to do. They are tired, hopeless, because of having failed so many times, almost reaching their goals. But the fact that they've been so close and yet so far makes them feel even more disillusioned with life. So I pray right now, my God, for this person who is ill at home, who is sick, who can't even stand up from their bed to walk, to do the most simple of things. They have to depend on others to do everything. When they drink this water, my Lord, let your healing power touch their bodies. I pray for those who have failed in quitting an addiction. When they drink this water, let it be like a medicine that will cleanse and flush their body of all those addictions. My Lord, those who have failed in their careers, in their families, perhaps this person has failed in having a stable marriage, a united family. Oh my God, that when they drink of this water, they may be set free. They may have the wisdom to establish a happy home with their family. I also pray for those that are tormented in their spiritual lives. People that if they were to talk about the experiences they have with this spiritual torment, they would be called mad by others. But they know what they are going through. Deliver this person. Set them free. When they drink of this water, touch their life. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. You may now drink of this water where you are. When you go to sleep tonight, go to sleep believing that something has already happened. But James, what has happened? It doesn't matter. Just believe that if you are sick, you are healed. If you had an addiction, you are free. If your family was broken, God meant your family together today. Okay? Believe in that. We're going to be with you tomorrow again at the same time. And I want to remind you, until midnight, our phone lines are open. You can call and speak to our team here. God bless you.